Good evening. Thank you for joining me, in-app users. This is the first edition or second edition of Asheville WX's in-app updates, and this is something we'll continue to do for app users. Thinking that we've got some winter weather that we'll be heading into the area next weekend. And so let's go ahead and look at the weather models. We've got some showers that are possible moving into Wednesday. That's the first bit of precipitation that I believe we'll see moving into this week. And I'll run the models out for you. And this should be Tuesday, Monday night into Tuesday. Those showers will. I misspoke just a second ago, but Monday into Tuesday, we'll see these showers move through the area and then move out of the area. And then a clipper system will move through and could give the higher elevations a little skiff of snow. I'll show you on the NAM model. We'll see this. You can see this run out right here. This backside kind of clipper system will strain itself out through the mountains and especially around the Boone area. This will be Wednesday night into Thursday, I believe. A few snow showers will be possible in the higher elevation. That's not really what we're focusing on, though. I'm focusing on Friday into Saturday. So let's look at the most recent European model. This is Saturday morning. Got a upper level low that we'll move in and should really. It's going to have some precipitation out in front of it, and could bring a 2 to 4 inches of snow. I really don't like to talk totals this far out, but some of the models are showing higher snowfall totals. But it's just a kind of a crapshoot right now. But this model shows this snowfall beginning to move in Saturday, light snowfall Saturday, and then picking up as sun sets and dropping a couple inches of precipitation before moving offshore. I'll show you. This is what the most recent European model shows: 3 to 4 inches around Asheville and surrounding areas. So not an extremely significant event, but noteworthy. And other models show a little bit more significant snowfall event. But what we're seeing right now is this upper level low coming down the northern jet stream and the southern jet stream kind of coming together over the southeast and pushing into that cold air that will have some blocking in place. And so let's look at the most recent GFS model. So here's the storm getting together, that northern jet stream coming together with that southern piece of jet stream, and that frontal precipitation kind of pushing together where the high and low pressure meet. And so you can see the GFS begins Saturday morning with light snow and moves through Saturday into Sunday with that snowfall continuing. That wedge of cold air pushes all the way into western North Carolina. Looks like this model shows mixing issues around Franklin or Andrews, Murphy area. So those locations, this is one of those events where the strong high pressure is retreating and is eroding away as the low pressure moves in, and is somewhat problemsome if you're looking for snow to accumulate. So we'll run this model out. The upper level low really captures that surface low and enhances it, and kind of really pulls this, kind of similar to what we saw happen in Oklahoma over the on Friday. They got 4 to 6 inches of snow. Somewhat of a surprise, but we talked about it last week about how the models were there was a dispersion between them, and the European model ended up being correct. So this is just one interpretation. This is the GFS model. And I'll show you what the snowfall totals came in. And once I show you these, just take these as a grain of salt. This isn't exactly how things will unfold. And so it's showing some pretty high totals, around 8 inches for Asheville Airport, less as you go south and west of Asheville. These totals are not concrete, and are just a one model representation. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. Here's what I'm talking about: the upper level low. Here's the southern jet stream and the northern jet stream. This is upper level 500 millibar charts, and you can see that those come together in the south and really get a strong storm developing. The upper level low cuts off, goes negative tilt, and we're seeing a lot of times these storms will either dip under the Appalachians. They tend to struggle with the Appalachians, and the models tend to struggle with resolving exactly how these storms will reform on the other side of the Appalachian. So that's what you're seeing here. That this storm really enhances, and that flow really dominates and throws back that moisture. So here's what the FV3 GFS. This is a different interpretation of the GFS, and it's supposed to take over at some point in time for the GFS, but it shows a little bit more of an ice storm, an ice look for western North Carolina, and then some backside snow showers. But consider this would be called an app runner, is what this low pressure is doing. It's running up the Appalachians and hammers the western side of the Appalachians, but tends to be rain on our side. So we could have some ice with this. Like I said, not much. There's relatively no certainty with how this will unfold, but it does. The models are sending a signal for a winter storm, and so I wanted to do an update to show those possibilities. So we'll show one more model, the Canadian model, and this storm is the farther south of all the models. Really brings that low up from the Gulf and develops it way off the coast of Florida. And doesn't bring it on shore. But what main takeaway from this is that this low pretty much bombs out, and showing the atmosphere is just going to be juiced for some type of storm to develop. So that's really the main takeaway. Thank you guys for joining me. I wanted to talk just a second about the new app. I really appreciate everyone who's purchased it, and so we've got a new chat in here, and I'll show you. The forum, if you look here, I don't know if you can see or not, but we've got in the app, we've got a forum now where you can ask me questions, and that's where I'll be answering the questions most frequently, and I'll also be on social media. But if you're looking to have your question answered quickly, that's the spot to post it, and I'll be looking there for your questions. So join me. We'll do another update tomorrow evening for app users, and I appreciate you guys joining me, and have a great evening. Thanks.